On a good foot.
Going?
Mm-hmm.
Give it 5 or 10 seconds there so we can edit it. Let's talk about some of the things we saw you doing today. This drill over here, what are you trying to accomplish with that?
Well, I think this is the most revolutionary thing that we've come up with since I've been here, because most of the time across this country, too many teams, colleges and professional teams, are spending their time developing a resource which you will draw upon, that's strength and power in the weight room, but they fail to tie the link to the field. I've seen some players now that have tremendous bench pressing ability, in other words, pushing the weight up, which you never see that on the field, that can clean or bring a weight from the ground to their shoulders, and then go over there and hit that machine and not get the same linkage to put that power, that strength into the bag. So this tells me that it's a skill that you have to train specifically, like hitting a golf ball, right? Specific to the task. Sure, this pool of strength and power you get over here is there, but if they don't do it over here, they don't have it. If it's not demonstrated on the field of play, you don't have it. You're blind. So what this machine is doing is helping us tie the link between the field. The field is the most important thing that we have. That's where we play the game. We've got to get on the field to play. All right, once we recognize that, now we try to duplicate as close as we can those skills. And then, like you hit that ball over and over, you got to do those drills. Now, if I see problems on that contact driving machine, I'll lay you odds I'm going to see that same type of thing on the field. The block, the tackle is a little more transient in time. If you have to take a look at it, just to, it's gone. Here I can coach it and talk to it. It's not exactly like, but it's closer than doing some other thing in the weight room, and that's what I want. So I see this energy transmitted from the hand to the ground. You're like kind of a jackhammer going back and forth. You can't see it unless you go real slow motion, but that's what in effect you do. You're using the energy of the earth, applied to the earth, back into the man or the bag, and you go back and forth and you drive it, and you can tell if you don't hit that thing right, that bag won't move. Right now we're up to moving a man that weighs 510 pounds, and the way the NFL is going, maybe someday we'll find a guy that big playing the game, but that's an overkill. But I want to get them the idea of passing that energy from their foot to their hand.
All right, let's talk about the running you did out there up the hill. What does that do?
Right, we have the skill itself, which we call sport speed. I like to do overspeed training, do the skill faster, right? Okay, or overpower or underpower, as you saw in the contact driving machine. What you see over here, well, I have a speed week concept, which is when you're fresh, you work your skills. When you're fresh, you work your speed. When you're fresh, you work your strength. You cannot do it tired, because what you're doing, you're training for stamina. So early in the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we work high-intensity work. Now, since this is Thursday, correct, we have passed over kind of, if you look at the week as a balance beam, and the fulcrum right there is Wednesday afternoon. I call that break point, or the fulcrum. From then on, you can work stamina. So what you saw there was power and stamina work. And of course, I was training them for their vacation in Hawaii by running through the sand.
All right, what does the sand do? How does that help?
Well, you'll see as you drive in the sand, it doesn't give you back exactly the force. It kind of shifts in how you apply that force. So what it's doing is applying energy in different directions to help develop the body and strength from the ankle all the way up to the hip.
How much do you believe you've helped the Cowboy team in the years that you've been here with what you do?
Well, that's hard to say. Usually the proof is in the pudding. Sometimes the pudding is hidden. I think over the long haul you have to look at anything statistically. One flip of the coin does not prove the probability of getting heads or tails. But if we flip the coin many times, it's irrefutable. If we work. Now, it's not necessarily me, it's the whole staff, it's the whole club, if you will, working harmoniously to a common goal. I think in that context, we collectively have done a heck of a job. We are now in a low cycle, but look out. We're working and we're coming back. We have that burning desire as an organization, and hopefully as a group of guys, as you saw today, that want to get back to the top. It may not be all at once, but we're coming back.
Have you found that when guys are in shape, they have that burning desire to do well more?
Not necessarily, but it's something you can't separate. I call it dynamic unity. Like the Mona Lisa is a work of art. If I go up and flick off a piece of paint, neither one of those are the Mona Lisa anymore, right? So it's hard to separate. Yes, sure. If we have the burning desire, we're in better shape, right? It's easier to display your skills when you get fatigued if you're in better shape relative to your opponent. That's what it's all about.
Is your goal to make the Cowboys the best conditioned team in football?
My role is to help the Cowboys perform as effectively on the football field as they possibly can. Whether it's happening to develop a base, a foundation, improve skills, I've got to get on the field too. I've got to train for on the field. And if you want to take conditioning in that total comprehensive sense, yes, and that's the way I think it has to be.
The players like you?
Well, I care, but I don't. I think I have a good rapport with the players. But if you make somebody work maybe temporarily, they may not like you because they associate you with that pain. But I think over the long haul, they would appreciate the results that they get.
What makes you proud? What do you say, hey, boy, I've done a great job? When you see something, you say, that's great.
Well, I just enjoy the process. I like to work out myself. I like to see the players improve and get better to a goal that they set for themselves that exceeds their grasp. And then they're willing to pay the price to spend every day to get to that goal. I mean, that's the fun part of it. Over my whole coaching career, I think I've enjoyed that the most. That there is time, the principles are irrefutable, look out, you're going to be successful if you work.